Welcome to the Smorgasbord Podcast, where we talk about a variety of things, uncensored, unfiltered, and unedited. So basically, I talk to myself a lot. So we just thought might record it, might help some people, might see how much an idiot about. I don't know. I guess really the topic today, I guess for the very first episode is, well, first of all, disclaimer. If you are offended, leave. Don't even watch this because I will say some things that are messed up and could possibly ruin my future. But it's all opinion based. I welcome open discussion. If you feel like I'm wrong about anything I say, because there's no research, there's no script to this. I'm just rambling like how I'm rambling now. But if that's what you think, message me on the Instagram or any of my other accounts. So basically, as we all know, the biggest topic going on right now, the coronavirus. I'm stuck in my house. Everybody is. Everything's shut down. The NBA, the NFL, the NFL's all gone. NHL, the MLB, everything is gone. And, personally, I get what is wrong with it, but at the same time, I don't, because I believe that's not the real issue here, not the real disease. The real disease, I believe, is fear. And what I mean by that is this. When you're able to control the mind, you can become, it is scary because the mind is the strongest and weakest or most fragile, I'll say, muscle in the entire body. Meaning if you could control that, you control everything else. And I feel like this is what this happens when we don't, as humans, when we don't know what this is. That's what happens. And we tend to be like, okay, we're going to shut down our way of life because of something new that we can't destroy or understand. And I believe that's the wrong way to approach it. I do believe the precautions are kind of necessary to an extent, but I also believe that if it is truly a pandemic, it's a matter of when you'll get it. So if everybody gets it, that's why I'm not upset at the people who don't sit inside the house and go out living life. And like all these people are upset about it. Like you're ruining our chances to try to get get it out, like get rid of it. Like, well, everybody's going to get it. It makes no difference to me sitting on my ass watching TV or going out there having fun with my friends. Like, and then the whole thing, it's like all politics. I think it's real, but I think it's one or two things is happening. It's not as serious as they're making it, or they're not telling us something. And I feel like that's my theory. I could be completely wrong. And I feel like this thing has been around for a while. It's just a new strain and people are dying, but I think I think all it is just nature weeding out the population. Because as we know, we're like overpopulating everything. There's not enough stuff to go around. And I feel like it's nature's way of like weeding out a disease, meaning that humans as creatures, all we do is take and eat away and we move along. Kind of like how locusts. And this is kind of like the pesticide thing for it, and where they're just going to take out the weak, and then you'll either adapt or you die. And I feel like if you just eat your vitamins and you just wash your hands or your butt, which you should have been doing in the first place, you're going to be fine. And I don't believe it's going to be anything too serious. I believe it can die down, and the school shut down to this online school, which just no. Like personally, everybody like hates being inside. I'm always alone, so I don't know. I'm talking to a camera right now. I'm literally all alone. This house is empty. Besides my cat upstairs, but other than that, it feels like another day to me. And personally, I'm not gonna panic over it. I'm just gonna live how I want to live, I guess. I'm not doing anything reckless, but I guess just living how I think you should live. And that's my opinion. If you think otherwise, let me know. Because I welcome open discussion. I welcome other opinions. I'm not one of those people who's going to say you're wrong because you're wrong. I want to hear it because I'm open to changing my mind, which is what I feel like people have lost touch with in general. And that's where like I feel like pure discussion has lost, and which is why I made this podcast. This is the very first episode where my mind is at. It's more of you talk about a topic that's controversial, void of emotion, meaning I'm not going to sit here with a heartfelt speech about gun control and stuff like that. Like I can just tell you straight up, yes, I agree with that we need some. No, I don't believe we need some, and all that, this, and that, and a wide variety of topics. Hence the Smorgasbord Podcast. So, and it just kind of something to bounce my ideas off. And if somebody wants to talk about it, I'll probably have people over when the coronavirus dies off. Like if we're able to leave the house and I'm able to go see my friends, I'll probably invite them over, or I might just do them over phone call, whatever the plan is. What else has been going on? What else? I guess really about it comes down to it. Really just talking about life, and it jumps from topic to topic. How one conversation will bleed into another, and I feel like that's how the flow of conversation is, and this is really just how people should interact with each other more than just yelling at people and all that stupid, ignorant shit. Because it's just dumb. Because just how the world is going right now, like no, it's just you sit there and you're like, and the thing with all the negative shit, it's like you're like, oh no, we want to get rid of it, and I'm like, you can't. And that's the biggest thing people lose track of. But we need all the evil shit. We need all that. Like I guess I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like racism. Like that's like evil right there. That is like one of the, because it can take it from just race like comments to action. And I've dealt with it, but I feel like it was necessary because it can either make or break you as a person, as an individual, and if you don't, like, I don't let it define me. Like they call me all those racial names. I'm like, don't make me. But it's negative. But you need that negative to know what positive is. Kind of that balance, if you will. It's more of a, if you sit there and all you have is good. There's nothing bad ever happens. It becomes boring. They're no longer, when there's no bad, there's no such thing as good. You're just there. You're just there existing. If you've never, like, if you succeeded all your life and you've never failed, there's no such thing as success for you. There's only you just doing what you've been doing for the past, I don't know, however long you've been doing it. It comes from anything. So and I feel like that brings humility, like failure and negativity brings humility and brings people together, because at the end of the day, it really knocks you down a couple pegs. And in general, it's just like, oh, you thought you were all this, and that. Like, for example, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, bringing more sports in this. I watched the fight. He was talking all that wild stuff. Won 42 fights. 42 fights, 41 of them by knockout. Has knocked out every single person. Met Tyson Fury, who was in general on paper already a better boxer. And the first fight went 12 rounds, was a draw. Tyson Fury, still undefeated, but they arguably should have went to him. And then Deontay Wilder was talking big game, saying, after the rematch, he said, talking big game, like, I'm about to knock you out. Tyson Fury goes out and whoops him every single round and forces a technical knockout. And I'm talking about whoops him bad. Took him all around the court. And that, like, people lose all the time. It was an ass kicking. It was bad. And you should watch it. You'll see what I mean. And it really, you could tell it changed him, because he tried to make excuses. He tried to do all that, but it humbled him. I'll give you another one. Adrian Broner. He cocky as they come. And he was a boxer who had a lot of talent, but he took big losses, and those big losses finally humbled him. And he had to go back to where he went down to the basics, basically. I mean, it knocked him down from where he was, and then to now he's here. He's back to where what he needs to be doing, and he became a 4-division world champion after he went back to his roots and, like, from the beginning where he started. And if you have that mindset of, okay, all my success aside, I'm still going to work as hard as I can till this is done. I feel like that's what would 100% would guarantee success for you personally. That's why, like, I've done some things that are successful, but I've never once let that success be like, okay, I've done it. Because the minute you think that you've made it is the beginning of the end. And I've seen it too many times on sports, whatever business, every single business. The minute you think you've made it, it is over. That's the beginning of the end, because that's when you start declining, you start getting lazy, and then you start, and that's it. And I feel like as long as you have that hard work mentality, which again, going back to the mind is the strongest. Because if you're able to do anything in your mind, if you're able to conceive it in your mind, it's possible. It can be the most unrealistic thing in the world. It's possible. It is possible. Like, people were like, it's stuff that's unrealistic. And I'm like, this was unrealistic. Now it's here. The guy who made the phone, he was like, someday we're going to be carrying this thing in our pockets. Now we can't. Just not in everything. It's because, and people who give it up say it's not realistic and it can't be done. I'm like, is it because you can't see it, or is it because you haven't tried to see it? Because I'm a firm believer in like everything and anything is possible, like to the letter of the sentence. Like anything, I believe you can do anything you if you like truly want to, you can within reason. Like, you can't crap out your eyes. That's no. But I feel like 10, 20 years, some idiot's gonna probably do anything about that. But for all the success that you have in life, and you're able to put your mind to anything new, it's possible. Like, and just all these other people, and just as long as you remember who you are and what you plan to do, your big goal, and what you plan to do in life, and don't let it change you. I feel like you can do whatever the hell you want, and you'll be fine. But yeah, that's really the big thing. So, and by the way, I'm going to be talking about everything. So even stuff that I said not to put online, like politics, religion, we're talking about all of it. So, next, politics. As you know, the election, which has been forgotten, is coming up this year, 2020 election. So we've got an interesting part of candidates. I don't pay attention to politics. I really couldn't care. In reality, I think Trump's going to get reelected. And people aren't, I don't know if people are like complaining this long, they've been trying to get him impeached since like the beginning, and he still gets reelected. But I'm like, y'all can't say nothing now because he's still there. He's still in office. You can't say anything about that. Like if he's still there, it's like complaining you're hungry, and then someone gives you a sandwich, you're just like, I don't want that. And I'm like, shut up. You can't sit there, beg for change. I give it to you. You give him opportunity. So we'll see what happens. They'll give him the opportunity, because they tried to impeach him, which I thought was unfair. I don't even support the man. That's unfair. I don't even pay attention to politics, and I thought that was unfair. I think we were screwed both ways. Meaning that Hillary wasn't going to be that better of a choice either. And it's just been politics in general. It's just bullshit. Like, it's bull. Like, I don't even like, and like, I don't watch the news. I get my news from my mom, or I get my news from other people or someone else. I don't even watch CNN, Fox, all that, even local ones, because it's all biased. Like, no matter what you look at, it's always going to be biased. And that's the problem with a lot of things. Like, it's impossible. And if you're willing to admit you're full of bias, I can respect that. But if you're just saying like, no, we're telling you how it is, like, no, you're not. Fox is no better than CNN. It's the exact same thing on opposite sides. It's the same thing. Fox, whenever Trump does something, they're gonna like good. They're gonna have it up there. And anything he does bad, they're gonna make it like less bad as possible, or they're just not gonna cover it. CNN's gonna take anything Trump did bad and it's just gonna and make it like he's the next Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler had a baby, and that's not fair at all either. And they're gonna anything that he does good, they're just not gonna cover it, or they're gonna make it like, yeah, but he did this, this, and this. And that whole thing with politics is one of the main reasons I don't follow it is simply because of the fact it's like, this is all it is. This is literally all it is. The two sides have two sides when they're really the same. They're the same thing fighting for control when control is an illusion, but I'll get to that later. It's literally the two sides who think they're different when they're exact same. It's just like their arguments are the exact same. Listen to how they talk and pay attention. They're like this. Hey, I've done this great things. Our party's done great things. And we could have done more if it wasn't for them over there. And I'm like, no, it's your fault. We didn't be able to do this, this, and this. We did all these great things. If it wasn't for you guys, we were fighting. We would have done so much more. But you guys are in the way. And I'm like, you idiots are fighting. And I'm looking at two idiots fight for control. And people forget that. People forget that all it is just two parties who they think are different. And I'm like, they are relatively the same. Relatively, they're the same. They're fighting for the same thing. And, people used to talk. I used to have these debates with them at school, and they were like, well, do you think the parties would ever join forces? I'm like, no. Why? Because it's a control thing. It's an ego thing. They're willing, like the Republicans right now with Trump in office, they would be willing to work with the Democrats as long as they have the head up. Like they could never be this. They always have to have, like, the other one has to always have the leg up. And it can never just be same because they want that. They want to hold that power over them, being like, just in case something happens, they're going to be able to pull a rank. And it's never this. It's always fighting for this. And because of that, we're not getting anywhere. So personally, I don't keep up with politics like that. I think it's all bull. And you can tell who like really tries and who doesn't based on how they walk in and how they walk out of office. Like George Bush walked in the office and walked out the office looking the exact same. Obama walked in looking 46. When he walked out, he didn't look a day over 75. That's the difference. You see, and it isn't like a bias thing. That's literally what it is. You look at him, he walked out with gray hair. Bush looked the exact same way walking out as he did walking in. You can tell the amount of effort there is between those two. The amount of effort. I don't know what they did because I believe both of them in some way, shape, or form were full of crap. Both of them full of crap. And all these presidents full of crap. The politics full of crap. I don't care that much about it. I don't really care really about it, which I feel like is like a natural thing because humans to their nature are selfish. As much people don't want to admit that they are. They aren't. They are. Say that, oh, I'm not selfish. I care about like no, because when it comes down to it, the same adage goes this: you take care of you and yours first. And in general, people don't care about things until it affects them. Like coronavirus, all jokes. I stick with the grind. I still think it's jokes. And even though people I know or people like near me have gotten it, people didn't care about the coronavirus. They were laughing, so it was like the China disease, like Kung flu, all that racist bull and all that. I never did it, but I looked at memes and making fun of it. It was all fun to it in Italy. It was made fun of in China. The minute it hit the United States, it was like, oh, now it's getting kind of serious. And then the NBA, like all these sports leagues, everything get canceled. NCAA, March Madness, everything gets canceled. And now everybody's just sitting there like, this is not something to be joked about. Or they're just like, it's a political like hoax. And I'm like, oh. Which I mean, like, well, Karl Anthony Towns' mom got put medically induced in a coma, and his dad's in the hospital from it. So you sure? You sure? So I mean, that's why I don't understand like some people like look at, and those are the people who are gonna be like, they're either gonna, you're gonna see them, they're gonna get weeded out really quick. The ones that are not taking it seriously, and that like even like I don't believe it's that serious, but I'm not taking the chance. So I'm still gonna I'm gonna have fun, but I'm still gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna use hand sanitizer when I touch things in public a little bit more than I used to. I'm not gonna take that risk. Those are the same people who don't believe in ghosts and will go and buy a Ouija board and taunt them and then be surprised when they get killed. And I'm like, you don't risk it, even if you don't believe it is real. You still take I'm not taking that chance. I'm gonna live by my principles, but I'm also gonna just play it safe rather than gamble a bit too much and lose everything. And those are the people that are gonna end up losing everything and potentially losing their lives, and karma's gonna bite them in the ass hard. And they're gonna regret it. They're going to regret it, and they're never going to be able to take it back, and it's going to suck. And they'll be like, I wish I took it more serious. I wish this, I wish that. And I'm like, dude, you had your chance. You didn't believe it then. And I'm like, people showed you. They showed you. And that's the issue with what and it comes back to human nature. And just they're selfish until no one cares until it gets to them. Poor or poverty doesn't matter till it gets to them. It's all jokes, right? But if America were to become a third world country, everybody's just they now care about it. It's no longer funny, and I feel like that's wrong, because any situation can be funny. Any situation, no matter how dark it is. Literally, comedy in my mind is made to make light of everything. Why is every conversation about anything that's serious have to be depressing? Why does every conversation, why can't we not there's insensitivity, and I get that. And I'm like, okay, you made fun of this, you won't take it serious. No, I take it serious, but it doesn't have to be depressing. And I don't have racism, when I mention it, I shouldn't have to get depressed about it every 5 minutes. Yes, it exists. Someone calls me the N-word. People are racist against Chinese people right now. They're calling it the Kung Flu, all that stuff. And if you make the joke with it, it's funny. Is it right? No, but it's funny. And it becomes with anything at all. So people who get offended over comedy, and I'm like, I don't understand, because literally, it has been proven, comics are the most depressed, yet depressed and lonely people, because it's a lonely business, yet somehow are able to be the most funny. How does that happen? Because a lot of comedic jokes are influenced by dark things that have happened. And a lot of people who are really funny have been through a lot of things, or they don't want to have others feel how they're feeling inside. So what do? They make sure they are happy, so that they know that there's one less person out there who doesn't feel how they're feeling. And that's how it is. That's how I am. I've been like that for a while. I'm not a comedian. I do it for free, but I have that comedy mindset of where you're having a bad day. I will be stupid. I'll do whatever I do. Laugh at me if you want, as long as I know you having a good time. And no one will. And that's all they got to hear. They ain't got to know anything about what's going on with me. All they got to know is this. End of the day, are you happy? How are you doing? I care about you. You're my friend. I love you. That's how it's going to be. And, that's it's scary, because people will never know. People will never know. It's harder. It's really easy to fake it. If you know what you're doing, it's really easy, because I fake it a lot. It's really, really easy once you know how to. And because you have all these comics, and you have people kill themselves. And you don't know. You could never know. You'd be like, oh, we didn't know. They were so happy. And I'm like, he's an actor. Like that dude, Robin Williams, killed himself. They're like, we didn't see it coming. I'm like, dog, he's literally an actor and you could do, but it's not in how he dresses. And very few people can see it. It's not in how he dresses. It's not in how his face and all that. It's in his eyes. You look in his eyes, and it's how he talks. It's how you when you interact with him. You can see it in him. He's a bit crazy. He's teetering or something. I guess I don't know. Everybody can't see it that way, but that's how I see it. I can tell when I look at people and I look in their eyes and be like, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing good." You can see in their eyes. He's this close to snapping. He just needs a little push. Little push. You will be surprised at the hard drive behind that man's computer. It is it is ridiculous. And again, you don't know. You could never know. So when it comes down to that, it's chaos, be kind. That's really the biggest thing. It's chaos, be kind, because none of us are sure. None of us are sure of anything. Be kind. And people have regurgitated this over and over again. It's not applied. Honestly, If you want to do it, fine. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it, cool. Guess what? You're gonna be you to the day that you die. You're gonna do everything is your choice. Nobody make you do nothing. All you gotta do is really be yourself and die. And people suck at being themselves. People don't even want to be themselves. That's the difference. So that's what it comes. So just really all you just gotta be you, and that's it. Because you're gonna be you till the day that you die. That ain't nothing you can do about it. And those are some of the things that I don't truly understand what the biggest issues are. But none of this is research. There's no script. I'm looking down because I'm thinking, but there's no script of anything. I'm really talking out of my butt figuratively, even though I kind of know what I'm talking about in the bigger picture. And probably details comes down to it. There's a little more detail, but this is the really grand scheme of a 15-year-old kid maneuvering their way through life. And this is what I'm bouncing my ideas off of because I have no one else to talk to. And I'm sure there's like not telling my mom, even though, which I'm stupid because I'm probably going to post this online, which is dumb. But, if she sees, she's not. But I do enjoy intellectual discussion. And during these times of tough where you're not around people, interaction, and because we are social creatures, this is a very serious thing. During these tough times, I feel like it's good to have discussion. It's always good to have an intellectual discussion because it's the only way that we can advance in life as a species, as a country, whatever way you want to categorize it. We need challenging ideas. We need someone to say, "Hey, racism is good." As absurd as that sounds, like you need someone to say that because you will know otherwise. I'm like, okay, why is it good? Why is it good? And like, even if it's so stupid, it's so easy to counteract it. You need to know what is good and what is not. And if you can challenge your own ideas, you can make other people see the way you see, or help challenge your own life and ideas and defend stuff that you don't believe in, or you're defending what you believe in, and avoid of attacking them personally or sitting there with a sob story. Because that stuff don't work with me personally. Like people who have cried about stuff and I've talked about, I got a quick story. There was this girl I was in class with. We was our literature class, 8th grade year. I will never forget it. I saw her as a friend, but she hated my guts. She hated me. She moved away. Her name was Ryan, and basically, she was like a big old feminist, Black Lives Matter, whatever you want to call it. And me being me, I'm just like, okay, I'm a free thinker. I like talking. I'm gonna talk about everything, and I'm gonna see where your mind is at. Because you can't say you're right and be like, okay, why are you right? I'm like, because I'm right. And I'm like, that's not how that works. There's a process to things and the way you think and the way you do things. You can't just sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm right because I'm right. But anyways, digress. Basically, we get an article in class that a teacher passed out saying, should females play football? And it goes on. We read it. It's like talking about how this girl was a kicker, and she's been doing it for a while and all that stuff. And they want to take the next step forward to be like a quarterback, all that other jazz. And basically, the question was, do you believe females should play football? And I was like, yes, but with other females. We're not having this co-ed stupid contact sports stuff. And she was like, well, why not? Why not? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? And I'm like, because it's a simple thing. Scientifically proven. Guys are stronger than girls, yeah? Any sport with physical contact should never be co-ed. Like how wrestling has gotten to be co-ed blows my mind. Because even if it's divided by weight, I'm 230. You put a 230 girl against me, I've wrestled for 2 years, I slam her one good time. I could kill her. I could paralyze her. And it happens more than you think. And same thing with Same thing, and I told her, like, same thing with boxing. You'll never see Mike Tyson. You'll never see Layla Ali fight Floyd Mayweather. That's why the whole thing with like Ronda Rousey and like she was just saying, "I'll beat Floyd," and I'm like, okay, you wouldn't. You're just talking out your brain because if you was a dude, you would get your teeth punched down your throat. And that whole thing. And it's just like there's no co-ed basketball. Doing that is like saying that it's okay for a female to be an offensive lineman in the NFL. It makes no sense. And if there's an NWFL, a National Female Football League, I'm all for it. A real one, you get all that stuff. I'm all for that. But to put them against 250 jacked dudes, 6'6" dudes against like a 6'2", 225-pound female, no, there is no possible way. And then her friend was like, which was one of my boys, and he was just like, he always co-signed with her. He was just like, oh, well, if you're trained right, and I'm like, dude, you want them to die. And this is where the argument gets away, because I said this. This is a true fact, and this is going to sound messed up. I said the equivalent of watching a man and a woman box is the same thing as domestic abuse televised, and they're getting paid for it. And what I mean by that, there is no difference. And like if I were to watch a fight between Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey, which is domestic abuse televised on camera, it is no difference than me driving to somebody's house and paying a guy to kick the crap out their wife. There is no difference. The only difference is that there's a crowd and there's cameras. No difference. And she got upset about that. She started crying. She was like, oh, I was in a domestic abuse household. You can't say that. And I just wanted to be so bad, just be like, who was the abuser? Your dad? Case in point. And she walked away and all that crying, all that trying to get me to feel bad. And I don't feel bad. Why? Because she wanted to be a lawyer. That's the ironic thing. She wanted to be a lawyer. She wanted to be in a profession that defends things that she might not always agree with. And she ain't got it under wraps in 8th grade. She ain't supposed to. But I'm saying she can't control herself now. How is she going to handle it and this is a school where they're supposed to act like they care when they don't. How are you going to face in the real world when people who definitely don't give a damn about how you feel? I'm like, fact is fact, dude. I don't care what your tears don't motivate me. They don't. You put LeBron James in the WNBA? No. Why would you ever do that? You wouldn't. Why? Because he's a 256'9" black man going against Diana Taurasi. No. You wouldn't put Layla Ali against Floyd. That just would never happen. And she's been undefeated. She's literally trained by the greatest heavyweight of all time. Still, no. There's no reason. No reason. If you had like a female heavyweight division, you wouldn't put a heavyweight female versus Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder would kill somebody. Even though he can't box. He hits him with that right hand. That's putting them in a coma. No, you don't do that. And that's the big argument was. And she just couldn't get it. And she got so upset she took a personal attack on herself. And I'm like, it ain't a personal attack. It's the simple, cold, hard truth. There's no if it's a contact sport, no. Like tennis is co-ed, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead. As long as but if you guys start beating the shit out of each other with the rackets, no. That's when it's like if that's part of the rule, you get to beat each other over the head with the rackets, no. Why? There's no reason for you to do that. That doesn't make any sense. Like anything that's like golf, cool. Yeah, more power to you. Yes, the female Tiger Woods. Go ahead, mazel off to you. But if you sit there, but then if you just go ahead and be like, okay, instead we're gonna have, we're gonna make this fight. We're gonna make Floyd Mayweather versus Ronda Rousey with 10-ounce boxing gloves, no head guards, and I'm like, what? She was like, and they're just like, why can't you do that? Like, because she would die. There is no, and people are hyping him up. It comes down to this too. Why, if that's the case, why can't a dude hit a woman? Because with my bare fist, I could kill a woman. Because if you're willing to say that a female can play football, if she can be a quarterback and get sacked by some dude. That means if a female puts her hands on me, I am allowed to give her the cleanest uppercut with no and get the same charge as if I were to do the same thing to a guy. No difference. And people were like, well, it's not the same. Why isn't it the same? Why? It's the exact same thing. Except it's not professional. It's the exact same thing. And it does not matter how you spin it. It comes down to it. I believe that if they started at the female NFL, I'd watch it. And it's serious league, not like no XFL, because XFL's not even like, it's literally, I don't even understand that league. It's like so weird. They had some other female league that's not even serious, but they had a genuine, carry themselves with respect, real NFL. Cool. I am all for that. I am down for it. I'd love to see that. And that'd be a massive leap forward. But I'm not going to sit there and say for the women's movement, for the movement of humanity, I want to see Tyson Fury kick the crap out of some girl who's had a 25-0 fights against females, then fights the lineal heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Tyson Fury. No. That doesn't. No, you stay within your gender. It's the same thing with like the transgender thing. I'm getting a little bit dangerous, and I came down transgender things that should not happen. You can't be the 50 best tennis player in the world. Then you get a surgery and you put on a sports bra, like in the man's league, and you put on a sports bra with your man's shoulders and just sitting there. And now you're the number one female tennis player. No, dude. Every chromosome in your body, except the sexual ones, is still dude. You can't go out there swole. It that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. That's not something you should do. LeBron James cannot be the number one dude in the NBA. Decide, in the inside I feel like woman, but you want to do that, it's fine. But you can't go. But what he can't do is do that and be like, okay, I'm gonna sign with a team in the WNBA. And I'm just going to go play there. And I'm like, no. Why? Because every chromosome besides your sexual ones is still a dude. You're still a 6'9", 250-pound black male who is dunking on an entire female roster. That can't happen. And that's the big point. When it comes down to it, like, They should do. They should. If that's the case, they should make an NFL, a female NFL. They should. They already have a WNBA. Why not an NFFL, National Female Football League, and they're not sexualized, taken just as serious. Oh yeah, it'll make money. It'll make a whole lot of money. But because you even look at the positions that they're taking now, like kicker, 90% of the time, if your team is trash, you're sitting on the bench, unless you're punting. And let's say you block a punt. There are going to be guys out there who are like, okay, you stepped on this field. You better expect to get hit, man or woman. You're going to expect to get trucked. So if a female wants to be Tom Brady, you better pray to God that O-line is the best O-line in the history of O-lines. You better not get sacked once. Because the minute some dude like J.J. Watt or some big dude come through or Von Miller come through, and truck you, you're done. That could literally kill you. Despite you having pads, a helmet, like leg pads, shoulder pads, helmet, everything, all that. And you're gonna walk out on that stretcher. Same thing if you want to be a wide receiver. You want to run that ball, you can get tackled safely all the time. Sometimes someone's gonna truck stick you, and it's gonna be bad. And you're gonna get laid out. And it's not gonna be the same laid out for a female. You're gonna get laid out in a way that's going to either put you in a hospital or it's going to put you in a coma or you're going to get killed. And I'm not saying there ain't females out there who can take a hit. There are a lot of people who can take a hit. But scientifically, you take a lot of those hits, your longevity is going to go down a lot quicker than a guy's going to get hit from a guy. That's just how it is. Same way like even if you divide by weight, divide by height, whatever you want to divide it by, like UFC divided by weight, bantamweight, super flyweight. Yeah, super. And they wanted to put Ronda Rousey so she could beat 50% of the guys in before she lost to Holly Holmes. She could beat 50% of the guys in the locker room that were like flyweight or whatever thing. And I'm like, no. Why? Because they're dudes. And if they really need to, Ronda Rousey would lose every single fight because that would be domestic abuse, and the ref would have to stop that fight early. And I guess in that intellectual discussion, no emotion, no bias towards that. That's my part on it. Let me know what you guys think. If it's wrong to think that, maybe there's another way of looking at it. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. She just took it the wrong way, and that's how it ruins friendships. If you don't allow opposite opinions, you're sitting there just agreeing with each other. Just like, I like what you think. You're my friend, so you're always right. Oh, I like what you think too. You're right too. You're never gonna get anywhere, and that friendship won't last. Because I'd rather have someone challenge my ideas and tell me I'm wrong to my face and be like, explain with a real reason why I'm wrong. But if you sit there and tell me, oh, you're wrong because you're wrong and I'm right, and I'm gonna look at you like you're stupid. I'm like, okay, no, I'm right until I've been proven wrong. I'm right. Just like you're innocent until proven guilty. I'm right till I've proven wrong. You have not proven me wrong. Therefore, you cannot say I'm not right. And you don't need to have statistics and be like, well, actually, according to CNN.com, 50% of this. No, you don't need to do that. All you need to do is give me a coherent reason why I'm wrong, and I will rather respect that. Even if you don't change my opinion, I will respect you as a person, as a friend. Yes, you call me out my BS if I'm wrong. Cool. I love you for that. Real people, real friends will respect that rather than get offended. Those who get offended are idiots. Those are the real idiots. If you say, well, like if you say the earth is flat and you think, well, no, that's not. And you're just like, how dare you correct me? And I'm like, see? But like, and it is. And it comes down to it. You need those opposite opinions. You need people to say the earth is flat. Why? Because we've been always told the earth was round, and they back then used to think the earth was flat. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your reasoning. If you have genuine good reasoning behind, you can defend anything with good reasoning. It could be completely wrong. And if you're able to defend it, which makes it scary. That's what makes it scary. That's what I mean by the mind is the most fragile. If you're passionate enough, you know how to talk, you can make people believe anything you want. Like anything, like I'll give you an example, like Hitler, evil genius, was able to move an entire nation to think that a specific race of people is the reason for the downfall of their country, and was able, and you know the rest of the story. He killed millions of people. Joseph Stalin made people disappear and was phasing people out of like life, and people you wouldn't hear from them. And the control of the mind, and if you're able to control this, everything else will follow through. Everything else. And that's what's so terrifying about it. It's why like people who are like even took a damaged people, if they like the minute if they had like a shitty life, like throughout had a shitty life, it's terrible. The home life ain't good, school life ain't good. Then they get that one good thing. I've seen it. It's happened to me. I've had somebody latch on to me that way. I've seen I literally have a friend who I talk to every day, cannot have a coherent conversation without mentioning her boyfriend. And her boyfriend is he good? And they're going through a rough patch right now, which is scary because she can't, like, in her mind, she's gonna disagree with it if she sees this. She can't see her life without him. Like there was no before. It was like this is what I mean. He was her God. Like he was her God. She started with him. Like her life didn't mean anything. It didn't start. There's only bad things. There's nothing good happened. Met him, sunshine and rainbows. She did not exist before him, and that is that's so terrifying. Like the fact that people can be like, "You own me," and say that with like no, like someone has told me that you've owned. Like, just be like, she's like, "I love you. You own me," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You own me," and I'm like, "What does that mean?" She's like, I am yours," and I'm like, "Do you know how to say that with nonchalant?" And you're saying this to a 15-year-old in your mind. I'm gonna be like, "What in God's name? What?" You sit there and you're like, "Okay, yeah, He belongs to me. Why? He's my God. The rest of my years without him don't exist. They mean fucking nothing. Right here is where I start to now. That's where it starts. And that's so terrifying because guess what? Some relationships end. And I still believe that my dude is gonna forgive her because she did something a little bit shady. Nothing too sketchy. She just did something a little bit shady. I won't put their information on blast like that. But if they see this, they know what I'm talking about. And he's been iffy ever since that happened because he's been real hard to forgive her, which I can understand, but it also is kind of childish. But I digress. I'm not gonna put that information out like that because I'm a real friend. But you can't sit there and just be like, all right, we're done. All right, we're done. So that they break up. She will crumble, and I'm going to be left picking up the pieces. Do you understand? Like, she can't function. This is how scary it is. She cannot function without him. People fall in love. People say all that. She cannot physically function. That she cannot imagine a world without him because she doesn't love herself. And all these other just like how that comes full circle, this whole conversation comes full circle. Mentally, you can't love nobody else until you love yourself. You can't love nobody else. You can't sit up there and say, I love you more than I love me. And I'm like, you need to value yourself more. Because guess what? I ain't nothing special. I'm another human just like you. I bleed. I cry the same tears. I haven't cried in like a decade. I cry the same tears. I bleed the same blood, and I sweat the same sweat, and I shit the same shit. There is nothing different except you like me, and I like you. But the fact that you're willing to throw everything away, all of this before me, to now be like, okay, you can say you made my life better, but you don't define my life. That's the difference. That's how I can say any person that I truly love. I can friend, whatever. You made my life better. I am glad. I am thankful. I met you. You've made it better. I love you. However, I have never once been like, okay, when I met you, nothing existed before you. You are everything and beyond. There is nothing more than you. That's some crazy shit. And that's what ends relationships right there. And I'm telling you, if my friend sees this, I'm gonna let you know, fam. You gotta make some decisions. I told you at the beginning, you gotta make some decisions. Or life gonna make it for you, and you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. And it's scary. But that about wraps up here. Thank you for watching the Smorgasbord Podcast, where we talk about a variety of things. Thank you for listening to my idiotic rambling. Remember, if I said anything that you had an issue with, or anything that you don't agree with, or you want to discuss further, DM me, and I'll add all the accounts below for my business, music, or whatever, all on my personal, anything in general you want to discuss further, you want me to address, let me know. And yeah. Have a good day during this time of Corona. It is, yeah. So, wash your hands, stay healthy, do what you must, have fun, live life. Love y'all. Bye.